Hello and welcome back to I Made This Today. I am Reese the King as always, and today I'm excited. We're going to be doing a colouring book. Now this isn't a new idea, this is actually something that's inspired by another channel I like to watch, who is ADC Art Attack. I really love this channel and the guy is an amazing artist and honestly an inspiration towards part of why I like to do the drawing on this channel and why I decided to even make it a thing on this channel. I really want to tackle this project with everything I've got. I'm pretty much going to go in with every single thing that I've got in my arsenal of skill and just really try and get an incredible end result to this. So why the colouring book? Well, why not? It just seems like a very fun thing to do. It's something that, like I say, in ADC Art Attack's videos, he likes to go in as a professional and kind of just tackle something that's already drawn, already fun, available to anyone, and you can just lose yourself and enjoy the colouring and just really get into that aspect of it, opposed to it purely being about the drawing aspect of it and everything like that. So I think it's kind of just a fun way that anyone can get involved and do it for themselves, no matter how good you are at drawing or anything. You just colour it in. So what colouring book do I have today? Well, I can tell you that it was supposed to be something different but unfortunately Amazon, they messed up my delivery, so I didn't get it in time to make this video. But it is going to be coming and it will be in a future video, so look forward to that. What have I done instead? Well, I'm trying to grasp it. I'm just moving all of my art supplies. What have I got instead? The ultimate colouring book. Avengers. I actually had to go and steal this. I say steal, I mean ask for permission, but I actually had to go get this from my daughter's collection of colouring books. And I felt like this was going to be a really good idea because it has got a lot of really cool stuff in it, including some pretty epic colouring by my daughter. This is her Avengers symbol that she made up, with a K in it, because that's how you spell her name. I'm not going to say her name, but nonetheless, there's a whole bunch of really cool images in this, and I think I found the one I know that I want to use. So here we have it, the Avengers Ultimate Colouring Book, and Ultimate Colouring Book it is. It's actually a really high quality colouring book, this. How many times am I going to say the word colouring? Probably too many. Okay, moving on. This is a pretty cool book. It's got a whole bunch of really sick images. To be honest with you, it's actually a pretty awesome book. It's got even references and everything up in the top corners, but it's also got like a progression. Whoa, I can't speak. Progression scale that goes through it. So you start off with like these heavy referenced image, and then as you go through it, it gets a little bit more inventive. So I actually fully recommend this. It's a damn cool book. Also, here's some pre-colouring in by my daughter. She's done a fantastic job. It's either this image here or this image here, and I'm kind of tempted by this one because it doesn't have anything behind it, and I know from previous experience of having colouring in, like actually coloured in this book, the back can sometimes pull through, so I think I've made my choice. It's going to be this one. This is the image we're going to do. It's got Mew Mew, it's got Thor with a sword, because obviously Mew Mew's over here, and it's got crazy looking goblin creatures. I don't know what goblins these are. Are they the frost people? I don't know. I'm going to look up some references for these guys to make sure I get a decent colour. If you know who they are, let me know in the comments down below. I think it's the frost people. We'll find out. Let's do this. With this one, I went in with everything. Like I said in the beginning, I was gonna give this my all. And I feel like I did once I completed this. You know, I worked very hard on this. We went in super hard with the alcohol markers. And I really just tried to enhance everything about this drawing. I didn't want to change too much about it because, to be honest with you, it's a pretty well drawn image anyway. I just wanted to enhance everything, drop that shadow over everything, you know, change those colours up a little bit. We used like, I think 4 different tones of blue in this frost giant, by the way. It is a frost giant, I did my research. So I don't know about you guys, but personally I like to get a whole bunch of images up on my screen while I'm doing stuff like this, just so that I can kind of try and reference colours and how something looks. Gives me like a bit of a better idea on everything and kind of helps me follow through with the colouring process. Also, I mean, as you can see here, I pretty much got the main Frost Giant to about 80% before I started anything else. That way I could kind of understand exactly what I wanted to achieve out of everything along the way. It's just kind of how I do it. I like to do stuff like one block at a time. I was doing this over the process of probably 3, maybe even 4 days. About 3 days. We'll say 3 days to be fair. I was just trying to block stuff out over those days, just so that I don't spend too much time in it. I kind of like to do no more than an hour or two sort of colouring at a time. I kind of find that it helps me not lose my way with what I'm doing too much. I kind of keep enthusiastic as I go through it. I don't have the best attention span in the world, so I find that that's just a good way for me to personally approach projects like this when it's, especially when it's not my own drawing and stuff. I feel like I'm a bit more passionate when I get in and do my own drawing, but mainly I suppose probably because I'm working out the entirety of the process as I'm drawing it. I already know everything about it, whereas this, there was a couple of moments where I was like, oh, what colour do I really want? And then, you know, it kind of hit me, and I'm very pleased with this. We'll talk about it as we go further through the piece, but there were definitely some of those moments when I was clueless as to how I was going to achieve what I was supposed to achieve out of this. But I was very happy with Thor, super duper happy with how the Frost Giants turned out. And we did a bit more of enhancement on Thor later in the artwork, where I actually started to bring in the pencils and stuff, just to really sort of make certain things pop. But yeah, I was pretty happy with it. Here you can see where I was talking about that colour bleed. It comes through the page a little bit, so I tried to hide it a little bit off with some shadow work. I'm pretty pleased with how Mew Mew turned out, and eventually when the ink dried, that background stuff actually did just fade away, so I was quite pleased with that. The background here, I struggled with. Man, I did not know what colours I wanted to use. The Frost Planet is definitely not this colour palette, I'll be honest with you. But I couldn't do it the way that it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be very snowy, it was supposed to be very sort of, well, white and blue, but we used a lot of blue in the characters already, and I just felt like it wouldn't work for me that way around. The same with the sky here, I had to embellish on this a little bit, make it my own, and just, I went with a really vibrant sort of sky, and I felt like this worked really well by the time I was done, because it kind of made this Frost Giant pop, and I was pretty happy with it. All the blending turned out quite well on it. Here you can see where I started using my pencil work, and I felt like I wanted to put a piece of the traditional suit in there, so I kind of did that sort of cross pattern that you kind of get on Thor suit. I felt like it just made it look a bit better and broke it up a little bit as well. So I don't know, let me know what you think about that. Did I do a good or did I do a bad? Who knows. And of course I had to finish it off with a bit of lightning coming down into his sword, because it just felt like, well, it's Thor, man. And a couple of stars, dot them in, and we're done. Finally, it's done. Completion. Okay, now, I put a lot of time into this. I may have got a little bit too lost in the picture, and I may have put a little bit too much time into this. I've probably spent about 6, maybe 7 hours in total colouring this in, using a range of different techniques, from, well, the alcohol markers, penciling, blending, and but that's it really, the alcohol markers. the pencils, gel pens, and a couple of other things just to add a little bit of technique into it. And I've got to be honest with you, I'm super duper happy with the end result. Like, you probably can't quite appreciate it as I'm holding it up here because the camera's going to be all off and stuff. So let's chuck a B-roll over the end. I am super happy with the outcome of this. And it truly goes to show why it's so important to lose yourself in colouring books as well as anything else. I feel like it's a really good pastime. It's just a cool way to just enjoy the art without having to create the art. So it's like taking the first chunk of stress off of the creation process. Like, personally, I think we've all been through this before, where you get like a bit of a sketcher's block, where you just can't think what you want to do, what you want to put that pencil to paper, and then you want to make something and you can't quite think of what it is that you want out of it. Or perhaps you may not even have the skill to do it, but you still enjoy doing the rest of it. Well, then why not? Just jump straight in and enjoy this. And like I say, this was an idea that I had gotten from being a fan of ADC Art Attack. I've seen his videos on doing it, and honestly it made me sort of think I really could give this a go. And I am super glad that I jumped into this, and I'm really glad with the end result. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy, I would really love it if you would consider smashing that like button. And if you really like it, then subscribe and hit that notification bell, because then you won't miss videos in the upcoming future. And as I said at the beginning, I have already teased that we already have another Marvel colouring book that's coming, because I ordered one. Like I said at the beginning, I borrowed this with permission from my daughter. And I have another colouring book that's coming. I have seen it at this point because it's been about 3 days since I recorded the intro to this, and it's not as high quality as this, so it's going to be very interesting seeing what results we get from that. If you're looking forward to that, let me know. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. We still need an outro. Bye.